Hey, it's Ash from Heirloom. I have no idea why I did that. I'm just feeling a little goofy today. Anyway, in the last video you watched me working on the rotisserie, trying to get it ready. And the car is ready. The rotisserie is pretty much ready for the car to go up. But because of the way I had to work on it, bits and pieces here and there, it's not going to work out for timing. I'm going to delay doing the floors and delay putting the car on the rotisserie. The reason I'm doing that is because when the floors come out, obviously, between the inner and outer sill, I need to rust-proof POR15 epoxy primer in there. There's a couple of floor strengtheners and a cross piece where the floor sandwiches against the frame. I need to POR15 and epoxy inside those. And we've gotten late enough in the year now where it's just not that warm at night anymore. And epoxy is super sensitive to temperature. So, and once it stops curing, it never properly restarts, and it'll never be properly hard. You won't get all the best qualities out of it. Plus, when this thing's on the rotisserie, I also want to do the undercoat, which I haven't decided if it's going to be a bed liner or a rubberized or exactly how I'm going to do that, but there's going to be some sort of protection under there, which again will require some epoxy. And if I do the bed liner, again, it requires a certain temperature to set up and cure. And last year, I tried heating my garage with an electric heater. It cost me $1,000 a month. As soon as I got the first bill, I shut that off, but I still had to pay a couple of grand. It took a while, to catch up on that. So not heating the garage again this year, even with the thick, heavy tarp on the door, insulated tarp. It's not, I can't be doing paint stuff here in the winter. It's too cold. Welcome to Canada. So we're going to find some other projects to do moving forward. And I have a couple. I'm going to attack the bonnets. The bonnets are, I have two. I'm going to make them into one. I've got some good pieces on one. I've got some good pieces on the other. Neither one of them is good as a whole. Plus I also want to louver it for cooling. So that's going to be one of the attacks through the winter. Then we're going to do some other stuff. I mean, obviously the steering wheel needs to get done. And I mean, there's so much stuff to do on this car. I don't need to have this thing up because I don't want it sitting on the rotisserie any longer than it has to. Every day that it sits on that rotisserie is another day that it can flex, is another day that gravity can wreak its toll, another day that the brackets can weaken and it can fall. The less time it's on the rotisserie, the happier I'm going to be. So that's probably going to happen in the spring now. We got to a point where I can pop it up, and it gives me lots of time to pre-plan how I'm going to attack it. But through the next few videos, we're going to kind of skip around and do different things to kind of make the car go forward, but without. We're gonna go buy the painting stuff until I have better night times, basically. Sorry for those waiting for it to go in the rotisserie, but I'd rather do it right than do it fast. So we will move on to the next thing. So we got these obviously put together. I've grabbed the 12 footers down. What I've done is I've set these up on some dunnage that I have. I'll just tip you down here so you can see it. See, it's on the dunnage there. The reason it's on the dunnage is so that just high enough that the casters don't touch the ground. And then what I've done is I've stuck this about where it's going to go. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be long enough that the bar sticks out past. So we've got it long enough, front and back. The bar sticks out past. They're sitting up there. I'm going to measure the length that those 2x4s have to be. This is 12 foot exactly. 144 inches. So that's perfect because I have two 12-foot 2x4s. They'll go on. And that way everything will be exactly the same. That looks good to me. Okay, we're installing doors. Again, the lighting's kind of crap in here. This hinge here, there's one piece on it that is so rusted in that I can't move it. It's going to take heat and stuff. I'll do that when I do the A-pillar, because that whole hinge, this whole area is coming out anyway. So I'm not going to worry about fighting with it. So I just left that hinge in. I'll put the other hinge in, and then we'll get to hanging here. Looks like it is a Phillips screwdriver. So I gathered all my parts already. That I had them all bagged, of course. This should not surprise you. So I've got all the, and they're all marked. So well, this is for that. And I know it seems silly to have a baggie for two screws, but I know exactly where these screws came from. I know exactly where they go. And baggies are cheap. I get them at a dollar store, so work out. This is a temporary attachment. So these are the actual original screws. They've got this kind of pointy end on them. The new hinges don't come with these screws, so if you're doing a concourse thing, apparently these are hard to find. No, I'm not giving them up because I have them. Why would I trade them off? But let's get you in place here. And there's the hole. One. Oh. Come on. I can see you want to line up in there. Okay. So obviously you have to come up a lot. That's loose, so I'll just put you in here about where I want you to. If I pull the bottom out, like so. Okay, so I want everything forward a little bit. So I want both top and bottom in. That'll help a lot. But I might have to do, oh, look at that. That's pretty well adjusted, I'd say. So now I'm going to put in this bit. And I don't know if you saw this, but I put the handle in already. I did that earlier. I taped the bolts when I put it away. I taped the bolts in place. So these are the original actual bolts that go with this thing. I do that with pretty much everything, by the way. There we go. Alrighty. I have a football game to watch. That door is in, it's going to hold. Alrighty, so I've tightened that up. Got my door in pretty much a good place. I got that aligned. We're trying an experiment here with a with wet sandblasting. I managed to borrow a pressure washer and from a buddy, and he bought one of those sandblasting attachments, the wet sandblast. Now, the reason I want to try that is because I sandblasted a lot of the body on the car dry, and it was a real pain. It was an absolute pain in the butt to clean up. And it's not even the sweeping, because I'll have to sweep no matter what. It's sand on everything. To to channel Anakin Skywalker. It gets everywhere, which is probably one of the worst lines in the, actually not the worst line though. God, those were terrible movies, weren't they? Holy crap. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna be sandblasting. I know I'll have to clean up, but I also know that wet sandblasting can lead to rust issues. See how it works, and if it's an easier cleanup, then I'll give back the pressure washer to my neighbor, obviously, and go and buy one. But I suspect we're gonna have a rust issue as soon as I'm done pressure washing this. I feel it in my bones that water and metal, right? So if the cleanup is easier and it's not a problem with the flash rust, then that's how I'm going to do the whole bonnet going forward. If I end up with a rust issue or other unforeseen errors, then we'll go back to what I was doing before. It's going to be kind of an experiment here, so we'll see how it works out. Yeah, that's all we can do. Try and learn new stuff, pick up new techniques as you go. It's something I haven't done before, so I'm looking forward to trying. I pulled out my bonnets. I have two of them. This was the original one. That's the one I picked up when I got that front end way back in like video 5 or whatever it was. It was a short 30-second video I showed before I got really into doing the videos. So anyway, so you can see just in the bottom corner of the shot there, my garage door is open. I just got home from work a couple hours ago. So it's what, 9 in the morning now. So I'm just gonna do this real quick before I go to bed. But that's probably why I didn't notice, but the line on the pressure washer is actually quite long. So I'm able to move the pressure washer outside, so no exhaust, no fumes, right? Also a lot less noise, so I may be able to go without these. So yay, win. Yeah, I may even close the garage door. In fact, I'm going to close the garage door to try and save some sand from going out there. I've got obviously breathing and hearing, and my sandblasting hood. I put a new mask in it because the glass was, or well, it's actually plastic, but it was all scratched up. So anyway, we're gonna hit this. We're gonna start her up and let us go. Let's see how we do. As you can see by the end of this, there's a fair amount of splash back. Also by my mask, lots of splash back. It's not a bad sized little pattern on it. So there's some dust in the air. I'm going to take you in and show you though. This is actually doing pretty well. Obviously there's lots of water everywhere, but so I went over just over a 5-gallon bucket of sand there. What we found was that, especially at the end, the sand would get kind of jammed up and it wouldn't come out. So I was just using water to pressure wash. So multiple days later, we have a fair amount of surface rust. But the sand on the floor is all still very wet. So the idea to scoop and reuse it will not work. So I am cleaning up and returning the sandblast, or the pressure washer. I'm gonna dry sandblast this. I'll probably do that before too long on the underside of this bonnet here, just to keep it from the rust from taking hold too much. The idea was the wet would be easier to clean up because the sand doesn't get everywhere, but it's not easier to clean up. So if there's no upside, why not just stick with my own tools instead of using somebody's that I borrowed?